I would say I'm not sure. I would say that it's probably a lot harder when you're in a big corporate. For me, like my team is 20 people, about 20 people. So I think it's easier for me to lead the team, you know. But I would say in a bigger organization, I would actually be a bit afraid for that because I think it'd be quite intense because there's a lot of different people, different personalities, different levers. So I would say that I think it's tough. I think it's also tough in the tech ecosystem, particularly being an African, a black woman, because it's not as easy to, for example, raise funds as it is for other people. So I would say there's so many different things, but I think you can't really say that that's the problem until you've overcome it. Then you can point it out. So that's for me my aim, is going above this, passing this hurdle, and then going back and saying like, look, I did it regardless, but this is something that needs to change. Last year, I was invited by the Central Bank of Kenya to meet the President of Prime Minister of Barbados. So I was one of 2 startups to meet her. So that was really exciting. We were really happy to have been selected. Our launch of our product, which was so well received at the end of January, it was amazing. I couldn't even believe that that's how people are going to receive this. It was really exciting. I would say also we signed a very big contract, banking contract. That's a big validation for us because I think banks are very difficult to deal with generally. But I was really happy about that because it sort of validated and said, look, what it is that you're building is relevant and people actually need it. So that was also a very big moment. And also, all around, I think, as bad as COVID has been, I think it's been really good for the insurtechs because now insurance companies are realizing that we need to be digital, So they're coming actually to us saying like, look, can you help us? Which is, I never thought that day would come. So also I'm very excited about that. People have changed perception and I think it's been great because it's, even for just the average person buying their car insurance, because you can pause your insurance, they're really excited about that because they're not driving. There are things like that it finally clicks for people, and I'm glad. I can only be glad, yeah. I would say that maybe I'll focus on, for me, it's about scaling across Africa, How can we have impact not only here but across the continent and also in other developing countries? Because what I realized recently is that, for example, Latin America faced the exact same problems as us here with insurance. So how can we take this, what we've built, and spread it around and have that impact across the board? I think we're headed towards more like artificial intelligence, these kinds of things as well. Like even for insurance, instead of having your claim paid out, we pay out our claims in 7 days, which is the fastest. But I think being able to pay your claim out in like 20 seconds, I think that's where we're headed, for example, and I hope that I can do that soon. I think you can only hold yourself back. Nobody else can hold you back, So being able to understand that if you feel like this is very strongly that this is something that you need to do and you can do, I think there's no excuse. Not being a woman, not being young. I think in the past we've seen that people have done it as well. So I don't think that should be even a thought that comes to your head. Because the one thing is that men don't say that. They don't feel that way. They never say that we're too young or we're men. So why should we? So I think it's really important for us to take our place at the table. Even if people don't want us there, it's our duty to be there for our future generations to see that it's possible. even the reason why people are not in, a lot of women are not in tech is because those options are not presented from a young age. So I think it's really important to present those options. If you want to work in an investment bank, it's possible. If you want to work if you want to work in tech, it's possible. You just have to, I think everybody deserves to have the same options presented to them. And also it's also very important for women who are in positions of leadership to, you know, nurture the next generation and to mentor them and to use their network. You know, it's all about the network at the end of the day, you know, like I think it's very important for us to also extend that network as women to other women who want to now go into these various industries. And I think that's the critical thing that hasn't happened in the past. You know, and I hope that that'll change. I hope that people will realize that, you know, we have to share this burden and all come together to overcome it. Otherwise, we're going to look back after 20 years and realize, look, nothing has really changed here. Women supporting women is something so critical because, first of all, you can share your learnings, what it is that, you know, you had to overcome, so that the next generation doesn't have to sort of struggle with those same problems. And also, once you're at the table, once you're there in a position of leadership, you are the one that's going to be doing the hiring. You know, I think it's really, really important for us as women to look out and hire other women too. But again, it goes back to the same problem of, are these opportunities presented in the same way, you know? I think the biggest learnings have been, I think, the importance of focus. I think focusing, it's very easy to look around and see what other people are doing and say, oh, maybe I can incorporate this, maybe I can do that, maybe I can, you know, but I think the important thing is if you're onto something, staying focused and not giving up, just persevering. I think my grandfather always used to say, don't look at what others are doing, look at what you're doing and focus to build that. So it's a really important thing, like important lesson for me, and it's something I always think back to when I see competition or I see what other people might be doing out in the world in the same space, you know. For my organization, I would say that I want to scale in more countries, you know, have a wider reach. I think that's really, really important to me, especially after realizing that a lot of the problems here are replicated elsewhere. For me as a person, it's to continue to not be afraid, but also to sort of grow into this leadership role. Because for me, I don't have like you said, I'm young. So there's always a lot for me to learn. So I hope that I'll take all the things that I can learn and become a better leader. The biggest thing is to inspire others, you know. I think if I can actually build this business to the scale that I see for it, in terms of like being a huge company across Africa, I hope that that is enough for people to inspire others and to let other young people know that, you know, they can go in and they can build something great. I think there's been a lot of big tech startups here that have evolved and grown, but a lot of them have been founded by foreigners. So it's also important for me to show that, you know, as an African, you can do it as well. And you'll get the funding, you'll get everything, so don't worry. So for me, it's about that, and also taking insurance to every single person in Africa, hopefully.